Hey, welcome to Magnus Drones. I'm Jim. Thanks for finding my channel, and if you're a subscriber, as always, thanks for staying with me. You might be thinking about purchasing a drone, or maybe you have purchased a drone, or there's one on your Christmas list this year. You're probably a little bit nervous about flying it for the first time. I know I was the first time I flew my first drone. These are some basic maneuvers that I'm going to show you today that will get you in the air, get you operating the sticks, and get you started on some very fundamental movements and give you an opportunity to gain some confidence, see how the drone behaves as you do these stick inputs, and building on them to incorporate over time more combination of movements and just building on these basic skills. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let's go out in the field and do some flying. With the left, to start the motors, with the left and right sticks, we're going to press them down and in. And with the left stick only, we're going to take off. When we push the left stick forward, the drone's going to ascend. If we pull it down, it's going to descend. And once we get it in the air, we'll start working on other maneuvers. So let's use the left stick only, and let's take the drone off. Now I'm just pushing gentle pressure. We're going to get the drone about 6-7 feet off the ground. And it'll sit there and hover. You take your thumbs off the sticks and it'll stay there until you give it another input. Now let's work with the left stick only. Remember, we push the stick forward to ascend, to descend, or if we're going to land, we'll push the left stick down. Just real gently. Push the stick forward and it'll ascend again. Now with the drone in place hovering, we're going to do a 360-degree counterclockwise turn. And to do that with the left stick, we'll simply push it to the left, very gently. And we'll keep pressure on it till we complete a circle. And when you do any of these maneuvers, just get used to how the drone reacts and behaves when you do these inputs. Now let's do a clockwise using the left stick again. Now we're just going to push it gently to the right. And the speed of the rotation is going to depend on how much input. It'll go a little faster if you push it all the way, a little slower if you push it just a little bit. And that's true of any of the inputs that you do. So with the right stick is going to control pitch and yaw. So when we push the right stick forward, the drone's going to go forward. When we pull it back, it's going to go backwards. When we push it to the left, it's going to yaw left. We push it to the right, it's going to yaw right. So let's do that again, just real gently, and I'll try to keep the drone in camera view. We're going to push the right stick forward. As soon as we let off the pressure, it'll hover in place. Now we pull the right stick back, it'll go backwards. Now with the right stick still, we're going to push it left and we're going to yaw left. Then I'm going to, just a little bit, I want to keep it in camera view. Now we push the right stick right, it'll yaw right. Push the right stick left and we'll bring it back to center. So let me position the drone a little a little further away from the light poles. So once again, let's push the right stick left. Push the right stick right. And just practice these until you get comfortable with them. If you're taking your drone off for the first time, I know this is probably pretty intimidating. Right stick, push it left, we'll bring it back to center. So let's practice a combination of maneuvers. I'm going to do a 360-degree circle, and the first thing I'll do is left stick, push it left, and I'll rotate it counterclockwise, about 45-degree angle. I'm basically trying to point the drone out so that it'll fly off to the left. And we're going to do a 360-degree circle. To do this, we're going to push the drone. We want the drone to go forward, but we also want to rotate the drone in the air so that it basically flies. So with the right stick, we're going to push the right stick up, it'll go forward, and then with the left stick, we'll give it a little pressure to the right, and it'll basically fly in that pattern. So let's do that. Don't have to go very fast. And I don't want to give up or down pressure, we're just keeping the same altitude. This time we'll do it again, I'll go a little higher because I realize that it's kind of flying below the tree line, and I'll raise the altitude just a little bit so I can get up above the shading of the tree behind us. So let's do it again. Right stick, I'm going to push it up, and the left stick, I'm going to give it a little right pressure. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Now let me turn it 180 degrees. And we'll do a counterclockwise this time. Same thing with the right stick, we're pushing it up. The left stick this time, we're going to push it to the left, give it left pressure. And we're going to do a counterclockwise circle. Now let's use a combination of stick movements again. We'll do a figure 8. I'm bringing the drone back, just kind of get it in a little better camera view. I'll do the same thing again. Using the left stick, I'll rotate the drone. And this time, let's see if we can perform a figure 8. I'll start my turn a little early. I'll let off a little pressure to go straight. Now I'm going to give it left stick pressure. I'm not going to claim that it's a perfect figure 8, but the maneuver, you get an idea of what you need to do to manipulate a combination of sticks movements between the left and the right. Here's a maneuver that's a lot of fun to do, and you really get a lot of use out of it when you're trying to do maybe some cinematic type video, and you might have a subject that you want to take a video of, and this one where you're actually doing a circle around it, and the idea is to keep the subject centered in the camera view. So we're going to use my landing pad as that subject, and I've rotated the camera down on the drone a little bit so that I have it centered in view. And the way you perform this circle movement is we're going to go clockwise first, and we're going to yaw to the left, and as we start the yaw, we're going to use the left stick and we're going to give it right pressure, and that'll rotate the drone clockwise as we yaw and performing this circle around your subject. So let's start it. It might be a little rough at first when you practice this, but what you'll find is when you get the yaw speed consistent, then all you're doing really is controlling the left stick and keeping your subject in center. So let's try that once. And just go real slow. And it's real small movements with your left stick. There you go. Now you can practice this counterclockwise as well, where in this maneuver going clockwise, the sticks actually were pressed towards each other. To go counterclockwise, the sticks are moved apart from each other. So your right stick is going to be pushed right, your left stick is going to be pushed left, and that'll give you the same thing in a counterclockwise. And the maneuver is just the same. Start your yaw, and then you begin putting pressure on the left stick to control your subject and keeping it in center. And this is a great maneuver, like I said, for cinematic. You might have something, a building, a tower, just something of special interest, and this is a great little maneuver. There's another maneuver that we'll practice called droning. And what it is, it's a flyaway from your subject. And let's set that up. And then I'll explain how that's performed. So I'm going to fly the drone out, and we're going to use the landing pad again as my subject. The flyaway, or the droning, is where you're actually going in reverse, or you're backing up, but you're also ascending in altitude. And it's again that combination of stick pressure to keep your subject in center. So remember that we're pulling down on the right stick and we're pushing up on the left stick. So we're going backwards and ascending in combination. Now let's try that. Again, very slow. Now to do that in reverse, of course, you're going to go forward and you'll descend. And again, you do the combination of pressure and you keep your subject in center. So let's bring the drone back, let's descend, and let's I realize these are really basic maneuvers, but they're ones that you can practice them over and over again, get really good at them. It makes flying the drone more enjoyable. You'll be out there capturing some great video, and it just makes it a lot of fun to fly. Now, we've been doing maneuvers where the drone's pointing away from us. And just remember, when the drone is facing you, some of these inputs are opposite. If I want to yaw to the left, I'm actually going to push the right stick right. So let's do that. The little right pressure, the drone is going to yaw to my left. So to return the drone, push the right stick left, and the drone is going to yaw to our right. I won't go into a lot of demonstration with that, but just understand that you have to get used to that, because you can mentally get crossed up, and depending on where you're at, if you're in close to trees or cover or anything like that, you could have a problem. But remember too, anytime you get confused or you're not sure, just take your thumbs off of the sticks and it'll stop right where it's at. To land the drone, I'm going to push the right stick forward. I'll get myself over the landing pad, bring the left stick down, and we'll land. So these are stick movements. I know they're very basic, but just practice. Practice. And as you get better, you'll develop more confidence, begin to come up with more combinations, try different maneuvers, and it just makes flying your drone that much more enjoyable. You'll get more out of it, and you'll create some great video. So thanks for watching the video. Safe flying.